All right, good evening, everyone. I call the City Council meeting for Wednesday, September 8th to order. This time, Saturday, 9/11, 20th anniversary. Always remember, never forget. 3,000 killed. Firefighters rushing into buildings to save folks, understanding the harm that probably could come, but thinking of others instead of themselves. First responders, our military, all the sacrifices that people have done on that day and since. So please, let's have a moment of silence, remembering that day. Thank you. If Alderman Grip would be kind enough to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Alderman Grip. Brian, our city clerk, if you'd please call the roll for tonight.
Dunn.
Here.
Dorman.
Here.
McGinnis.
Here.
Lee. Grip.
Here.
Condon.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
Dickman.
Here.
Jobson.
Here.
And Ambrose.
Here.
9 present, Your Honor.
Thank you, Brian. So good evening again, everyone. As we begin the meeting of the City Council, I'd again like to welcome all in attendance here and anybody who's on any particular electronic device. We respectfully welcome your comments and opinions, but please keep in mind as you share your thoughts, you share it with all your Davenporters and anyone throughout the region. We're happy you're participating in your city government and ask that your participation please reflect the common desire I know we all feel to make Davenport a greater place for everyone. At this time, if you have a cell phone, especially for the folks in here, if you just make sure it's on silent or turn it off, just simply so it doesn't get in the way of anybody talking. If you want to address the council, there's the podium, the microphone's above you. Please address us as a body and not any individual. You'll have 5 minutes. We'll be respectful of you. Please be respectful of us. Thank you. And will an alderman please move approval of the city council meeting minutes for August 25th, 2021?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. Will an alderman please move, the report of the Committee of the Whole for September 1st, 2021?
Move the report.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. Okay, we have one proclamation this evening, and I'm going to be reading that. So, City of Davenport proclamation. Whereas National Good Neighbor Day was created in 1971 by Becky Matson, a community businesswoman in Lakeside, Montana, to acknowledge and celebrate the importance of a good neighbor who collaborates and partners with their community to create a better place for all. And whereas in 1978, the first presidential proclamation recognizing National Good Neighbor Day was issued by President Jimmy Carter and urged people to build friendships, have concern for others, and to create bonds that form strong neighborhoods and communities. And whereas the Good Neighbor Project is designed to fit the individual needs of our community and bring Davenport neighborhoods together. And whereas with 72 neighborhoods participating in the Good Neighbor Project, the City of Davenport assists in enhancing communication and collaboration with citizens through partnerships with staff and the Davenport Police Department. And whereas the City of Davenport commends good neighbors who take pride in their property, socialize with those who live around them, and dedicate their time and talents to make their neighborhoods a safe, stable, and welcoming place to live. And whereas while it is a blessing to have a good neighbor, it is even a greater blessing to be a good neighbor. And now, therefore, we, Mike Matson, Mayor and the City Council of Davenport, Iowa, do hereby proclaim September 28th, 2021 as National Good Neighbor Day in Davenport and encourage all citizens to acquaint themselves with their neighbors and be friendly, sociable, and exhibit kindness to all. I ask for a motion to move the proclamation.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Very good. And Joyce Miller from Van Buren Park, I'll meet you at the podium if that's all right. So.
stay next to you.
Oh,
Sorry.
Thank you.
They went on the phone.
thank you. Say a few words.
All right, I want to thank you for this. I'm accepting this for all the neighborhoods in the Good Neighbor Project. For the people of the neighborhoods to be able to help each other, whether it's just helping with projects or looking after each other, is something that the whole community is going to be able to benefit from. Thank you.
I'm going to take a little privilege, and Sergeant Harris, I'd like to recognize you, one, and two, if you'd say a few comments, because Sergeant Harris has been instrumental with working with the Good Neighbor Project and working with our neighborhood, so I'd love to hear from you.
Thank you. Joyce, thank you for being the ambassador of the Good Neighbor Project. When we first started this about a year and a half ago, Van Buren Park, along with Alder Dunn, we showcased that neighborhood. We piloted the program for about 2 months. We found out that this is something that's successful. We borrowed the idea from Madison, Wisconsin. I'm happy to say that we are now the largest Good Neighbor projects in the United States. There's about 3 other Good Neighbor Projects communities in our country, but we are the biggest and definitely the best. So thank you for your support of the Good Neighbor Project, and our neighborhoods are the foundation of Davenport, so we're looking forward to growing it even bigger.
Thank you for your work. Now, apologize, I didn't call on our good city administrator. Is there any updates?
Nothing this evening, Your Honor.
Thank you. Just check in and make sure, right? Okay, very good. So now we'll move on. We had that. We have 3 presentations. One of the cool things we do here in Davenport and the City Council and Mayor is bring some new firefighters and some new police officers into our city. And tonight, it's my honor and, of course, the council's honor. Chief, please, I'll meet you down there to swear in a couple officers.
Thank you, Mayor Mattson and council members. It is my honor, as always, to stand before you as the police chief and having the opportunity to introduce to you, for the first time publicly, 3 of our brand new police officers. The other thing that I think is important to point out this evening is it's the first time that we get to see and demonstrate the importance of family as it relates to our public servants. So each one of these officers has family here, and it's imperative that I explain to the family members how important their role is in these officers' career here. So you are their foundation. You're their when they have a difficult time at work, you are who they go home to keep, and you also keep us grounded. I can tell you, after 33 years in this profession, my family is my rock. They are my foundation, and you will be along their long career. You will be their foundation, and it's necessary that you are involved in their profession as well. So I will tell you, as the police chief, I am thankful that you're here supporting these 3 new officers. So thank you very much. So Mayor, if I could introduce to you, for the purpose of oath of office, this is an official oath that they're taking in front of all of you, their families, and our community as well. Police Officer Larry Lee. Larry was born and raised right here in Davenport. He graduated from Davenport West High School in 2013. He then attended Scott Community College for 2 years and plans on returning to school to obtain a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. While attending high school and college, Larry coached acrobatics at local gymnastics gyms in his free time. It's pretty impressive too. Larry was awarded the 300-point club for physical fitness and the Director's Award by the Law Enforcement Academy during his time there. And his girlfriend, Heather, will be pinning his badge. Mayor? I state your name.
I, Larry Lee,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially,
and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties
discharge all the duties
of a police officer
of a police officer
of the City of Davenport,
of the City of Davenport,
County of Scott,
County of Scott,
State of Iowa,
State of Iowa,
now or hereafter
now or hereafter,
required by law.
required by law.
You're a police officer.
Thank you, sir.
Nice job.
Police Officer Tevin Hutcherson. Tevin grew up in Davenport as well. He graduated from Davenport Central High School, go Blue Devils, in 2016. Tevin graduated from Kirkwood Community College in 2018 with an associate's degree in liberal arts. He previously worked as a youth service worker at Tanager Place in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Tevin's spouse, Heather, will be pinning his badge.
I state your name.
I, Tevin Hutcherson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of Iowa,
of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially,
and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties
discharge all the duties
of a police officer
of a police officer
of the City of Davenport,
of the City of Davenport,
County of Scott,
County of Scott,
State of Iowa,
State of Iowa,
now or hereafter
now or hereafter,
required by law.
required by law.
You're a police officer.
Thank you, sir.
It's okay.
Police Officer Corey Hasley. Corey was born in Dixon, Illinois. He grew up in Davenport and graduated from Davenport Assumption High School in 2017. Corey graduated from Valley Forge College in 2019 with an associate's degree in Justice and Security Studies and commissioned as a second lieutenant in the United States Army. Corey previously worked in the security department at Mercy Medical Center in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Corey's spouse, Amanda, will be pinning his badge.
I state your name.
I, Corey Daly,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of Iowa,
of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
and impartially,
and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties
discharge all the duties
of a police officer
of a police officer
of the City of
of
Davenport,
the City of Davenport,
County of Scott,
County of Scott,
State of Iowa,
State of Iowa,
now or hereafter
now or hereafter,
required by law.
required by law.
You're a police officer.
Mayor and Council, thank you for the opportunity to do this publicly in front of everybody. I think it's great for our community to see this. I think it's great for these police officers to feel this, and also for the families to feel it as well. So thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Great day. All right, so petitions and communications. I just want to take a moment. I want to thank our police department. We did a great thing here, recognizing some new officers, but I want to take a moment again to recognize our police department and thank them for all the work they do. We've talked about how we're going after some folks, and I just want to thank the detectives, all the officers. We had a tragedy recently, but they, through great police work, apprehended someone, and the hours and time spent dedicated to their practice of the police work for Davenport, sometimes we don't say enough, and we don't say thank you enough, so I just wanted to do that. So, Alderman Dorman.
Thank you, Mayor Mattson. So as we know, what some in the community call the Super Bowl of Iowa is taking place this coming Saturday, when number 9 Iowa State will be taking on number 10 University of Iowa in Ames. And so with that, I thought that it would be a fun idea as the sole Iowa State alumnus here on City Council, I believe at least, and I definitely think the only fan. I wanted to make a friendly wager with our one and only Mayor Mattson as the outcome of the game this coming weekend. The loser of the game would have to wear the other person's tie, which I know to him and to me that will also be the first time we'll be seen in public wearing the opposing team's colors. So before
You will be.
Before I officially go with that, I wanted to just say a few words about the Iowa State game, and specifically here in Scott County, we have 3,420 alumni for Iowa State, which is less than the roughly 6,000 University of Iowa alumni that are here in Scott County. But overall in the state, we have 117,000 University of Iowa State alumni here in the state, which I do believe, I didn't have time to check Iowa's number on that one, but I do believe we now have more Iowa State alumni in the state of Iowa than the University of Iowa has. And I know that Iowa has some famous alumni such as Ashton Kutcher and Tom Arnold, but Iowa State has other famous alumni like George Washington Carver, the pioneer in the peanut industry, as well as astronaut Clayton Anderson. Those are some of Iowa State's best alumnus. And I know that also Iowa is constantly ranked as a top school. Most of the time it's as a top 10 party school, where Iowa State is feeding the world via our top-ranked College of Agriculture. So that's another one I've noticed too with the difference between our two schools. But no, in the end, I definitely love the fact that we have the two great universities here within our community that so many people here, whether you went to Iowa State or Iowa or like either or, it's what's provided us just a little bit of joy and entertainment over the last year and a half or so that's been difficult. So it's great to see two great teams that should have a really great matchup next week. And I'm excited to see the mayor wearing red next week. So thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Dorman. Alderwoman McGinnis.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just a reminder that our next Party in the Park is September 16th, a week from tomorrow, at Goose Creek Park. And that starts at 5:30 to 7:30, and then we'll wrap up Party in the Park on September 23rd at Youngie Park. Again, the same 5:30 to 7:30. So this will end Party in the Park for 2021. And just if you can come and join us, it's always a good time. I also wanted to thank the neighbors around Riverview Terrace. We have had, that's a beautiful park up on Clay Street that was the city has enjoyed for decades. It was built in the days when people, maybe 1 in 10 people, or maybe 15, had a car, and it was built to drive through gently, and it's probably not a way we'd build a park today, but it is has a beautiful view down of the river below. But we've had some mischief and disorder going on in the park. It's been very frustrating for the neighbors, and it sort of came to a head this summer. So just to let everyone know, the park is open. We have temporarily closed off the automobile access to it. But the park is open. You can still walk in and still enjoy it, and maybe a little more peacefully than you did when the drive-through was open. We are looking at options. We have blocked it off as part of sitting back, taking a look. What does the park look like in the future? I had we've had several meetings with neighbors. Meeting we had last night, they report that people were throwing garbage down the hill, all kinds of things like that, that it's down, that problem's down 90%. Some of the issues of people coming in and what they were doing in the park has been reduced dramatically, and people are coming in and seemingly enjoying sitting in the park again. So we're still in the process of figuring out what we're going to do. If anybody in Davenport has any ideas about what we might be able to do, or some future way maybe the park will look, we'd love to hear it. This is an ongoing process. It's not something that we're going to be making a decision tomorrow about or making recommendations about. And the neighbors, as I said, are fully engaged. They love the park. They understand it's right in their neighborhood, but they also understand it's a public park, and they want to make sure people can have access in some way to it. And I really appreciate that and appreciate their thoughtfulness. So I'll keep you informed on that, Mayor, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Alderwoman McGinnis. Alderman Condon.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would be remiss if I didn't highlight this Friday's event on the Mississippi River here in LeClaire Park. The next in our series of movies on the Mississippi is Jurassic Park, which will be shown on the big screen right there in the park, so you can watch the movie underneath the stars. The events start at 6, and the showtime starts at 7:45. I'd like to thank my fellow Alderman at large, Kyle Grip, in his enthusiasm for seeing Jurassic Park for the very first time. He has said he would dress as his favorite dinosaur at the screening if I can get 1,000 likes on my Facebook page. And right now we're sitting about 850 short, but I'm confident we're going to get there. Point of clarification, what is your favorite dinosaur?
It's got to be a T-Rex.
All right. And I also wanted to take this opportunity to recognize the work that's being done by the Riverfront Improvement Commission, and specifically the city staff member, Steve Ahrens. We're working hard to program the space down there on all of these great parks that we have. And in making these investments, sometimes there's a question of a chicken and egg. What comes first, the events and the programming, or the actual improvements themselves? And as it's turned out, I don't know if he's the chicken or the egg, but Steve Ahrens comes first in that equation. He is working very hard. You will see him at every event you can imagine down at the river, the Freight House, Quinlan Court, the Mercado on the Rio events, excuse my Spanish, the parks on the LeClaire riverfront. So I think we'll know that we've arrived when you have a situation where you happen to be downtown, and like I have many times, just stumbled into an event that you didn't even know was on the calendar, because really there's always something going on in our downtown, and there's always something going down on our riverfront. I hope to see you guys there Friday at Jurassic Park. Thank you.
Alderman Grip.
Thank you, Your Honor. Before I get to the dinosaurs, on a somewhat serious note, I'm very proud tonight. So one of the officers sworn in tonight, Tevin Hutcherson, was one of my former baseball players at Davenport Central, and I ran into another former player this weekend who is at the academy, and I just couldn't be more proud of these guys stepping up to a life in public service and being a police officer for the city of Davenport, the city they grew up in. I love being an alderman. Absolutely love it, but the most rewarding job I've ever had is as a high school baseball coach, and it's always great to see young people growing up and giving back to their community. So congratulations, Tevin, and good luck in your career. Now on to the fun. I was challenged to dress up as a dinosaur on Friday, and I typically don't do things like that, and JJ fell well short of his 1,000 likes. But that's not the point. The point is we're trying to get people to view our riverfront as the place to go for recreation. And I was at last month's, so was the mayor, so was Alderman Condon, last month's movie on the riverfront. It was The Lion King, and it was a beautiful night, and it was the perfect setting for a movie. And I think there was maybe 100 to 150 people there. So okay turnout, but I'd rather see 1,000 people on the riverfront than get 1,000 likes on Facebook. I will be dressed up as a dinosaur. If you are dressed up as a dinosaur, you get free ice cream. That is true. Chill Eats is giving away free ice cream on Friday to anyone dressed up as a dinosaur. So see you there.
Cool thing. All right. Alderman Ambrose.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm glad Alderwoman McGinnis brought up our beautiful, historic Riverview Park. It's been part of our community for 150 years. 25 years ago, I worked with the neighbors on the historic Washington Street neighborhood. We organized a neighborhood and a business association. And that group spent and raised thousands of dollars and devoted hundreds of hours of volunteer time to beautify Riverview Park from what it used to be. When I go by it now, it's boarded up. It looks like a crime scene. And I know Alderwoman McGinnis had talked to some of the neighbors, and they decided it was okay to close the park down. And that park over 150 years has had millions of visitors, not only through the community, but from all over the world, and oftentimes said to be one of the most beautiful parks in the world, not just the city of Davenport. So as a couple neighbors and Alderman McGinnis decide what the future is to the park, there's a lot of people that devote a lot of time. We got the Parks Advisory Committee. We got the Historic Preservation Group. This is a historic neighborhood, and Riverview Park is the fountainhead of the historic Washington Street neighborhood. And to see it boarded up, people have to walk blocks to visit the park. And to close off the park like it is and what might be in the future. People from all over the community in the Quad Cities go to the park to have lunch and enjoy the beautiful views. So I would tread really lightly about how we decide the future of this park is. After 150 years, the city decided not to cut the grass anymore, and that became a huge issue with the neighborhood. So I know if some of the neighbors around Vanderveer didn't like what was going on in the park, and the Vanderveer alderman decided it was time to close Vanderveer, that would never happen. And I would be very, very disappointed, along with thousands of people in our community and throughout the city of Davenport, to have this beautiful park changed. I think it's unacceptable, so tread lightly.
Alderwoman McGinnis.
Thank you for letting me speak again, Your Honor. I'd just like to correct something that the alderman just said. The park, and I do appreciate his concerns. It wasn't a few neighbors, it was the neighborhood around the park. The park is not boarded up, the park is not closed. The park can be walked into. There is in fact parking in the block just to the west of Washington there on Clay. So it's very easy to park and walk in. We've been monitoring how much activity, how much parking is there, and there seems to be ample parking every day for people if they wish to park and walk literally into the park. So it isn't closed. It is still there. Everything's under consideration. But what was happening there that I had been dealing with as the alderman for that area, and I understand it abuts the ward that you represent, I have been dealing with 4 years with concerns about drug deals, about crime, a tremendous amount of litter, destruction to the park, tires being left in the park, activity when the park is closed. So these are concerns, real concerns that in a caring neighborhood and folks right around that park, they really care about that park. They also understand it's not just their park, which I really appreciate, and that it is the public's park. So these are all things we're going through and we'll be talking through, and we will consider all of that, but the park is not closed. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Ambrose.
Thank you, Your Honor. Do we have someone from staff here that can explain what the city's plan is for the park? Clay?
So a bunch of heads looking at me, so I thought I'd come up and try to help out with that. To Alderwoman McGinnis's point, what we're trying right now are some environmental things for the park. I will tell you that while the jury's still out to see how all this affects either in a positive or negative way, I can tell you that the day we got the barricades up, I went up there and just taking a look at that, taking a look at the lights, taking a look at the camera up there. There happened to be a lady in the park that lives not too far from there, and she thanked me. She was having a good time. She was there with her dog. Anecdotal story, one person, one neighbor that lives up in that area, but she just said thank you. She wanted to, make sure it wasn't closed off.
Chief, we meet once a month, as you well know. You've been to many of the historic Washington Street meetings, and the park is addressed all the time. So we have it closed up. Is that going to be indefinitely? Because it looks horrible. You know, someone that drives, because we have Marquette Street closed up, you know, that's become a very popular route. So when people come up Fillmore Street and they drive by this incredibly beautiful park and see barricades, you know, it's, you know, like I say, yellow ribbon, it looks like a crime scene. So what, is this going to be indefinitely? Can we have someone from staff or maybe our acting city administrator?
So if I can just.
Mayor, if I could,
Okay. I was going to interject, but feel free.
I was just going to answer Alderman Ambrose's question. What we're trying to do there, Alderman Ambrose, is disrupt the behavior that's currently going on with some temporary measures. And
Mr. Ambrose, let me finish.
I know how the city works with temporary measures.
Okay, so we're gonna.
Thanks.
If we want to get together, Alderwoman McGinnis or anybody else to talk about this, we're happy to do that. I appreciate the dialogue. It's a very good dialogue, and and I know everybody cares about this place, and I know Alderwoman McGinnis has been talking and working this for a while, but both have had 2 times to speak, and we'll move on. Anyone else? Very good. All right, the next item is discussion agenda. We have no items on the discussion agenda. So moving to the consent agenda, is there a motion? There is. Is there a second to approve all items? Second. There's a motion and a second to approve all items on consent. Brian, roll call, please.
Condon?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
McGinnis?
Yes.
Ambrose? Grip?
yes.
Jobson?
Yes.
Dickman?
Yes.
Dorman?
Yes.
And Dunn.
Yes.
9 yeses, Your Honor.
Very good. Okay, consent's approved. We'll move on to the next one. Any other ordinances, resolutions, motions? There is one. First, though, we need a motion for suspension of the rules to add the item. There's a motion and a second. Okay, roll call, Brian, for adding this item. Oh, I'm sorry, for suspending the rules.
Ambrose? Dunn?
Yes.
McGinnis?
Yes.
Dickman?
Yes.
Yes.
Condon? Miller?
Yes.
Dorman?
Yes.
Jobson?
Yes.
And Grip.
Yes.
9 yeses, Your Honor.
Very good. So the rules are suspended. So now I'll read the item that's added. It's a resolution approving the following street closure on the listed date and time to hold an outdoor event. St. Paul the Apostle Back to School Block Party, 1007 East Rusholme Street, Saturday, September 18th, 2021, 12 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. The closure is East Rusholme Street between Cary and Arlington. Is there any public with comment that'd like to speak to this item? Seeing none, will an alderman move the resolution?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion from any alder folks? Seeing none, Brian, please call the roll for the resolution.
Miller,
Yes.
Jobson,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Condon,
Yes.
Dorman,
Yes.
Grip,
Yes.
Dickman,
Yes.
Ambrose, and McGinnis.
Yes.
9 yeses, Your Honor.
Very good. Okay, we'll move to the next item. Is there any public with business? Again, 5 minutes. Address or ward, love to know where you're from.
Good evening. My name is Dale Gilmore, and I live in the 6th Ward. I've been chosen, though I'm not a member, to represent the illegal sign removal team, the ISRT. This team is a group of individuals concerned with the increasing number of signs illegally placed in boulevards, on public property, public right-of-ways, medians, etc. The team has a warning for those who think the world is theirs for the signing. The ISRT, for short, members are experts at magic. These members can make an illegal sign disappear in a matter of moments. So, if you buy houses and you buy cars and you put your signs in the boulevards, they will disappear. Sell CBD or trim a tree, place your sign illegally, and it will too disappear. Free internet or a mattress sale. God, I'm tired of those. In the median, your sign will fail. Well, enough for the silliness. The reason for the ISRT is to clean up our city, one illegal sign at a time. And if you join, you can have one of these lime green limited edition official-looking member shirts at absolutely no cost. I've been told that the wires supporting the removed signs are recycled, but the rest of the sign will eventually end up in the landfill. Okay, who wants to join? Thanks.
Anyone else?
How you doing? My name is Willie Shorter, and I live at 501 West 3rd Street. And Mayor, like I said, I'm going to continue to come here. I'm going to continue to talk. But this is not a rent receipt. This is the rent receipt we getting now. This is supposed to be a money order, but they turned it into a rent receipt. And I'm not understanding the way things is going in this building. But I think that, you know, I have a lot of the white tenants now coming to my apartment, leaving letters.
How you doing, people? This is one of my tenants in the
To
building.
see this.
And what's your name? Robert Miller. And
This is a man that don't
his
have no
refrigerator has
refrigerator
not been working.
in my
He
building.
had to throw all of his food out. And this is what I've been trying to tell people in our community on how we're being treated down here.
So
And how long has been going?
I want you to understand what I'm saying. I have tenants to meet me now. I have people sending me mail. And as I was reading my little fan mail, I picked up a letter of all y'all addresses. So I want you to understand something. I'm finna start popping up at your home and at your apartment.
Be careful now, mister.
No, I ain't gonna be careful. Y'all go home and sleep in peace. Y'all go home and sleep in peace. And we don't. I want you to understand it's gonna be a peaceful protest. But I want you to understand, Mayor, whenever you turn around, you're gonna see me there with my horn. Because the way I've been treated for 6 years, I'm not going away. I'm never gonna go away on this matter. So, I mean, you could make it look like it's a threat or whatever type you want to look at it. But us in this building don't get no sleep. There's people up in there right now don't have refrigerators. There's leaks coming in. I mean, that building is a disaster. Even the people downstairs quit. We don't even have janitors in there. A man's in the back had to go and turn off somebody's water because it kept running, because the toilet is broke. And I blame you for this because y'all sold this building to some slumlords. So I just want to let you know, When you see me outside on your sidewalk or on the street, you know what I'm there for. So thank you guys. Like I said, some of y'all is in apartments and some of y'all is in homes. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop. Because I was humiliated for 6 years. Called that N-word. And it just seemed like when we come over here, y'all just wanna just, I'm not one of these black guys that's just gonna drop their head and walk off. I was not brought up that way. I was brought up to fight for what I believe in. So, like I said, in this right here, that article that you lied in,
Be careful.
this is right here. No, ain't no be careful, man.
Okay.
You think you could just
Mr.
tell
Shorter,
me to be careful?
Thank you.
Yeah, I know, cut me off, but we'll see when I pop up at your school where you teach and at your home, because I'm gonna be there.
Mr.
Thank you.
Warner, please take note of what he's saying. Anyone else?
How y'all doing? My name Maurice Hughes. I stay at 501 West 3rd Street with Will Shorter. Okay, now, like he just said, had to cut somebody water off. I ain't no maintenance man. Like I said last time I was up here, I invited every last one of y'all to come over there and see what we living through. The maintenance staff quit. No one's downstairs. It took me from the first to today to pay my rent. Mary, y'all sold that building. Y'all got y'all money, so y'all good. Anyway, now. Here we go again with this damn garbage. The garbage is stinking again. You know what? I invite any one of y'all. I'll give you my phone number. My phone number is 563-570-2963. Call me. I'll let you in. You can come upstairs. I will let you go through the building. You all see what we are going through. Come on, help us out. We helped you out, man. We pay our rent. Don't have us keep coming down here looking like we the bad guys. We're not the bad guys here. I'm not trying to make you look at it down. I'm like this. I'm from Iowa. Right now, what I'm going through right now, Mary, y'all making me regret that I was even born in the state of Iowa. For real. I remember back in the days, Iowa used to be a good state. Davenport used to be a good city back in the days. Iowa used to, when I was growing up, Davenport took care of Davenport people. Not no more, man. Not no more now. Now, come on, man. I'm actually one-on-one as a man. Can you live in a building where the garbage stinking all day? Where there's nobody taking, there's no employees to take care of everybody? No water going, people's refrigerators going bad. People's toilets keep running, leaking every day. Could you do that? See, I get no answer again. But don't worry about it. Hey, y'all, if I was y'all, I'd quit. Because when y'all come down, it's coming down on him. I'll see y'all.
Anyone else? Motion and second to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Have a good evening.